You got your mic good? I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it sounds right. And I mean that for serious this time. I got my special ears in.
Ooh.
What was saying? Hello, welcome everybody to Who's Your Main. We're here. We were just in the middle of a conversation when we realized we should be hitting record here. So hello.
Yeah. Hi. I'm Anthony. I don't remember if you introduced me or not.
Huh? No, I didn't. I was trying not to do that thing I always do, but like, hi, I'm Jared, and this is my co-host. Cut that. I hated that.
Yeah. Don't do that.
That hurt me. Don't do that. Please cut that. Please. Anyway, we were just talking about the difference between playing on a console and playing on a PC with the ability to mod. And I was just about to go on a rant, which we should get your bit about that. Well, you go ahead and start yours, and then we'll just pick up where we were. What were you saying about that?
Okay. Yeah. So one of the main reasons why I switched back to console, because I like you, I was a PC gamer all through my 20s, early 30s. I loved tinkering with games. I loved making them what I wanted them to be. And not to mention all of the other benefits, like I don't think there's anybody that can argue graphics are always going to be better on PC. You're always going to have a better controller, when you've got mouse and keyboard. I think that is universally the better way to play most games. There's just a lot of benefits to playing PC, but the reason that I love playing console, I want to be able to play a game when I have the urge to play a game. And so the thing that I was saying before we started recording was, when we decided to play Mass Effect, I just take the disc and put it in my PlayStation and I start playing. I got almost a week head start on you playing and was able to finish the game, about 3 or 4 days before you finished the game. And so to me, that's the biggest benefit is I don't have to fix anything. I don't have to worry about crashes. Well, I did have some crashes in this game, but like getting it ready to play. There is no like week-long buildup of, well, let me get my mod list together and let me see what I want and what I don't want and all of that stuff. I get the urge to play, I play, and then when I am done, I'm done. And I do think there is some merit to that. I do miss the other side of the coin, but yeah, I think from my standpoint, that's the main advantage of being on a console is that ability to just be like, oh, whatever whim I have, I want to play this game, and then I can, within 15 minutes, be playing it.
Yeah, you just get it out of the box, plop it in. You don't care. You don't care about worrying about QOL or anything like that, quality of life stuff. It's just like the quality of life is I can turn it on and play it, and I don't have any guilt of, well, maybe I should be modding it because it's on PC or whatever. But I feel like too, though, like revisiting game, when we revisit games, a lot of times it's like, man, I've played this game before. I'm on PC. I'm gonna mod it. Like I'm looking for stuff that are quality of life. I'm looking for game overhauls that change my experience, and so I get some unique, community-driven, like passion project-driven experience that changes the way that I really look at the game. And it could just be like visual mods that you always wanted. Like the best example is I always wanted to be able to see Tally's face, and they kind of they hinted at what she looks like in the games, but they never just outright are like, this is what this race looks like underneath the species looks like underneath their helmet. It was such a mystery, and we never got to see it. And they kept being like, well, you're going to get to see it. Well, you're going to. You didn't. And so there was like 3 or 4 mods that were Tally faces, and they were all like everybody's like interpretation. And there was this one that was really alien, and it looked so cool. And I was like, this is it. This is the reveal. This is, to me, that was it. That was that headcanon thing that we're always talking about. This is what it looks like to me. This is the game, And I really do enjoy that, build up and making that personal tailor-made mod list out of, the community's mods, and I think that's the coolest thing ever, like it's just to see all these pieces come together of these community driven projects. And I was thinking a lot about that playing Mass Effect again, and we have that conversation. I feel like every time because you're usually replaying on a console, and I'm usually replaying on the PC. I'm like, look at my mod list, and you're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck? He's already fucking 3 days ahead of me. And you're like, what the fuck? That looks so cool.
I was definitely very jealous of some of the mods you had. Not just the visual mods, also, like you said, the quality of life mods. There were quite a few things in this game that, going back and playing them, not that I was a kid when I played Mass Effect for the first time. I was in college, but
damn it, I gotta look it up again.
Yeah. Yeah, 2008. I think we looked it up and said it was 2008.
I've looked it up so many times this week.
But 2007, 2008, that's high school, college for me.
7.
You just kind of look past those things because you're a younger gamer. You're not not that, we're mature gamers and now we're better at games. I think we just care more about our time. One of the things that you had, which was a huge quality of life for you, was when you landed on a planet, you had the full map unlocked. There was no hidden resources or hidden map markers or anything like that. I had to drive around on the planets and find that stuff, and I eventually gave up. I didn't do it. So I actually didn't hit max level when I ended the game because I didn't do those quests, those fetch quests, because it was annoying. I didn't want to do it, and so I didn't. And I think I would have if I would have had the map.
I forgot to tell you that I only got to 29. I didn't get to 30.
Oh.
There was probably some parts I could have squeezed out, but I wasn't using a guide on that. It was we folks. I feel like we'd said this already, but we were playing through Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition on Insanity. That's the highest difficulty. So we just did that, and we used the legendary leveling system because in the classic game there were 60 levels and you had to play through it basically 2 times to reach max level with the same character, the same Shepard that you start out with. And so on the legendary one you can technically get to the max level, but I scoured the fucking wiki to see if I did every quest, which I did, but I may have missed. I don't know if I missed some combats or something, or I did some combats differently, or maybe you miss out on experience being Paragon. I'm not sure, but yeah, some of those that one quality of life where it was like all discovered maps when you land on the planets. That one, honestly, that was so much more fun to just be like, oh, I click there and I drive there. I drive there and I drive there and I have everything on the planet and I know for sure it's done, well, maybe, hopefully that mod was correct.
Well, I think you and I both play games the same way, which is if you give me a list of things to do, I want to check those things off the list. And so if you give me a map, I want to do everything that there is to do on the map. But if the map is incorrect or it's not filled out, that makes me angry because it's like, well, it's like, okay, well, what's the point of having the map then? If the map is inaccurate and I say this all the time, if I have to leave your game to go get information to play your game, then you have not done your job as the game creator correctly. And I think you and I both, we had a ton of fun playing this game, but then once we got to the end, I think we both had some minor gripes that were kind of just annoyances. Like the thing that would take it from a 10 out of 10 to being like a 9.5 out of a 10. Nothing that's like awful. But I think the map was definitely something that was irking me more than anything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you go backwards in gaming after you've played modern games for a long time. You sometimes forget where we came from. And Mass Effect 1, I think was a masterwork, and there's a lot of good things, but we did have some gripes. I love that we probably should lock in and do that deep dive maybe this week or next week, and we'll get that out for you folks about our opinions about this game, because Mass Effect 1, it was just really good. But talking about lists, and you're totally right about that about us. my daughter, she all of a sudden just like got super interested in playing Pokemon. She never cared about it. She's 7, 8. I forget. I don't forget. I can think about it, but she's finally got to the point where she can really read well and she doesn't get fatigued reading a lot. And Pokemon has only reading, no voice acting. Perfect game for a young gamer who needs to uh, practice those skills. And she just fucking locked in. I figured I could. We were both gonna play it together. I figured I could just play, here and there, and it wouldn't bog me down. I'll play Scarlet. She'll play Violet, and she's locked in. She took out 3 gyms, took out 2 Titans, and so I just had to spend the whole weekend just catching up to her. Which I could skip all the dialogue. I already beat it, but still, I was just like blazing a trail towards her. But while I'm doing that, I'm getting held up because there's this thing called a fucking Pokedex. If you've never played Pokemon, I don't know, but if you've never played it, you have a Pokedex, and every time you catch a Pokemon, it fills out a little fucking check mark that you fucking caught that Pokemon. And so this game is really awesome for just rolling around and catching Pokemon. And you can see all the guys. You can see the ones that you haven't caught on the map in front of you. So I'll just get like, I'm on the trail. I'm going to the next gym, and all of a sudden I'm fucking off the road catching Pokemon and filling out my Pokedex. My daughter's like, "You have more Pokemon than me." I was like, "I have a problem, okay? I have a living dex. It's complete." And then I'm over here trying to complete another living dex in the game because that's how I fucking play that game. It gives me the dopamine.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't remember if we've talked about this before or not, but you convinced me to not only buy a 3DS when that came out, but also Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I actually ended up buying Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and then buying another 3DS so that I could trade with myself and complete the living decks in those games. I'm right there with you. Like I'm of the mindset of, oh, this is a really fun game. A lot of nostalgia for when I was a kid and I played Pokemon on a Game Boy for the very first time. That lasts all of about 30 seconds. The first time you meet your rival or you go to the first gym, and then you're like, okay, is that what we're gonna do? You're gonna knock me down to half health? Okay, all right. Bring in the boys, and then I just start going getting the team, and whatever that team is. I just go get them and rough everybody up with the team. I went full wrestling. I let you put me onto this as well, of building a theme team. My theme team was wrestlers, and man, that was so much fun. Just like, okay, like how do you build a strong competitive team for that? I mean, you don't really need a competitive team to win.
Not through the story mode, no.
No, like you said, it's for kids. But by hamstringing yourself in that way, I think it makes those games so much more fun. And so I just love that. I love the idea of going back and and it's like, yes, you want the next generation to have the same passion and joy that you had. But then at the same time, it's like, I'm not going to let you win. Like you come at the champ, you best not miss.
I asked my daughter if she wanted to battle when we both got to 10. I was like, do you want to battle? Because it was probably a pretty good chance that she could still beat me just by sheer, RNG at that level. And she says no. Then after she takes down freaking 3 gyms and 2 Titans, she's like, Dad, you want to battle? While I'm level 10 because I was like playing Mass Effect, And I was like, dang it. Like, I was like, now you want to battle?
Well, yeah.
She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I'm raising a real one, Like she knows. She's like, I got the advantage, old man.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
See, our problem is you and I wouldn't be gym leaders. You and I would be Team Skull.
Oh yeah. Yo.
It's your boy.
Skull.
It's your boy.
It's your boy Cosmo. Dude, okay, we're obviously talking about Sun and Moon and Sun and Moon Ultra. Amazing games. But I was just talking to my friends about this, the way that I play any Pokemon if I'm getting the mainline Pokemon game and it's my first time through, I constantly am catching anything that's on the route to wherever I'm going, and I'm just cycling my team constantly. A lot of people will just get their main guys and just blast through the game. And with modern Pokemon games, they have XP shares on constantly, so your whole team gets experience points. They all level up. If you do that, I mean, you'll be easily like level 30 something by like the third gym, and you'll just be trashing the game, and it'll be easy. But if you cycle your team, and you're constantly giving yourself disadvantage, because right now I'm playing that game and I've got 3 flying types on my team. If any fucking rock types or electric types come at me, I mean, I'm reeling. I'm just like, oh man, am I gonna fucking win this fucking encounter with this fucking shitty ass fucking weakness? And that's why a format that a lot of Pokemon fans use called Nuzlocke is popular, where if any of your Pokemon get down, they get kicked off the team and they're quote unquote dead. So makes it much more high stakes because somebody gets a lucky crit on one of your guys and he was like your main guy. You just fucked your team up.
Yeah.
You get fucking killed while you're fucking leveling. You're leveling a guy. Oops, he's out. Oh man. So it's been really fun.
We need to do a full on Pokemon deep dive, like play through together.
Gladly.
Where you and I go, you take one game, I'll take the other game, and we just go through. I think the only time you and I have ever battled was actually we were doing a Jonament, and I was playing someone else. I won't say their name, but I was playing someone else, and you like stood over their shoulder and was like coaching them. And I was like, hey, I'm fighting him, not you.
I'm pretty sure they were fighting you, and they were like, I don't want to play anymore. Yeah. And I was like, let me step in. And you were like, wait a minute. And I was like, I think I was losing when I sat down. And
here's how big of a nerd I am. You did all of the work for this, which was amazing. You set it up so that everybody would, they had a pool of Pokemon that they could pick, and had a move set for each one. I sat down and I was like, he's going to pick Charmander. I know this dude. He's going to pick Charmander. Charmander was his starter. I'm taking Squirtle. And he not only does he pick Charmander, but the first dude he throws out is Charmander. And I was like, I knew it. Yeah. And so I stomp him. I smash Charmander, kill him. And then he's like, I don't want to play anymore. I'm like, yeah, get out of here, chump. And then you sit down and take his place. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like wait a minute. I did, I wasn't in the headspace of fighting you. I was in the headspace of fighting him. Anyway, that's my excuse.
Did I kill you with a Pikachu?
Yeah, that's my excuse of why you beat me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I came in and I had like a Pikachu and something else left, and I beat you with him. Yeah. And you were like, what the fuck is that shit? I was like, Pikachu's goated. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for years. Set up like a fucking, basically what Pokemon Stadium did for the 64.
Yeah.
That was so cool. You could rent the teams and you could just battle. It was so fun. And so I wanted to set that up, and I set that up. I got starters. I got like flying guys. I think there was like, you could pick 3 and you could do a 3-on-3. I think that's what it did.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I recall, it was like the birds and the marmots, whatever, the varmints of the, when you first start. And I think I put them all at like level 50 or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was fun.
I remember setting that up. Now that you talk about that, I do remember that. I wonder if I got those Pokemon anywhere. They're probably in my Pokemon home. I'll have to look.
Jeez, yeah.
Anyway, you got me fucking talking about Pokemon, which maybe I got us talking about Pokemon. I think you would probably like Scarlet and Violet playthrough because it ticks a lot of those boxes of just like fucking like here's all the tasks.
Yeah.
Go do all the tasks. It sets you out. The only thing it doesn't do, my biggest criticism of Scarlet and Violet is it's open world. So you can leave the main town and you can just go wherever the fuck you want. The problem is it's not leveled. Like the world isn't like following your level. I forget what that fucking is called. Normalized levels or whatever. Where you're like, if I go to this gym first and I'm level 10, that this gym leader is level 10. No, I just walked into the level 30 gym and they're going to smack you up and down the street.
Well, that defeats the purpose of open world.
Yes. I think that, I mean, okay. I think that's a big Pokemon opinion that I have. And what I'm about to say is an opinion, but I think that they obviously rushed this. They rushed every Pokemon game out, and I think they had ideas for that. And I think that Legends Arceus taught them a lot of cool stuff, and they tried to squeeze that stuff into Scarlet and Violet, and it didn't get completed, but it's functional. So if you go, folks, if you're interested in playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you should totally look up like a gym map or a game map, and it'll tell you which ones to do at what level. And that route feels really good to play, to do it like that. Not only that, the story makes more sense. But I just think that the story's gotten better and better in Pokemon games for kids. Like when we were kids, you know, we were fighting Team Rocket. They were gangsters, and we were busting up fucking real gangsters. Probably was, I don't understand why they weren't shooting us when we beat their fucking Pokemon in battle. They're like, fucking kid, pow, pow, pow. That's not how they do the rival teams anymore, or your rival. Your rival used to be a fucking dickwad, you know, just a mean asshole. It's like, you know, you and I could be rivals, you know.
Yeah.
Me and you could be rivals. We were rivals when we played Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, we're friends, you know.
I understand why they made that change. You know, because it promotes that idea of like, we aren't on the same team, but we're trying to achieve the same goal. You know, like there's no reason why we have to be nasty towards each other. I understand why they made that change. I personally like it better when it's Gary Oak and he's flipping you a middle finger as he walks down Viridian Forest, and he's like, I already got 6 badges. What are you doing? Like, I love that. I love that because that motivates me. Whereas, you know, when your rival is your best friend and it's like, come on, man, like let's test out our teams against each other. And it's like, oh, all right, fine. And then you win. And then he's like, it's okay. I'm going to go get a snack. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah. I was just telling my friends this too. I was like, guys, like, I really wish there was a fucking like kid difficulty and like dad difficulty, because I know that's like a big complaint of Pokemon is difficulty settings, and I wish that dad difficulty were doubles, and because that would increase the difficulty. Look, when it's 1-on-1s, like, okay, I'm gonna sweep you. This is what's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna build this team and I'm gonna beat your ass. But doubles that's some strategy stuff. We're starting to get into, I'm having to juggle 2 guys and think about all that. Lot more damage coming in, a lot faster battles. But you know, then the story could be more mature, you know, and they definitely have been experimenting with that with Arceus, and I haven't got to play ZA yet, but they're also experimenting with how the game is played. Arceus and ZA so far from each other in gameplay, but there is some similarities between the two, and I thought Arceus was such a step in the right direction for Pokemon. It was so fun. It was probably the funnest I've had playing a Pokemon game in a long time, and I'm the Pokemon guy. I've played every fucking mainline game that they came out with and love every single one of them for different reasons, you know? And there's valid criticisms among the series for a lot of reasons. But that was a long rant about Pokemon. Sorry.
No, you and I both have this same love-hate relationship with our favorite game group. You have Pokemon and I have Madden football. And you and I both had the exact same thing happen, which is our companies made like an offshoot. So you got Arceus and I got NCAA football, which is the college version of Madden football. I loved it. I thought it was incredible. I thought they did a bunch of things that were unique and new, and a lot of the things that the community had asked for a long time. Granted, they were still constrained by a lot of the things that still made Madden bad. You know, you still had all of the pay-to-win card game mechanics and online stuff that was really toxic and bad. But it was a step in the right direction. And then that forced Madden to be good. And so I think you and I are on the same page where it's like no game should ever be in a series where it's like make a game every year. That's a recipe for disaster. That's never good for anybody. Call of Duty is realizing that. I think they put out a statement a little while ago saying that they were going to stop that cycle of like 1 year is Call of Duty, 1 year is Black Ops. They were like, this is a terrible business model. We're done. And it's like let's stop that. It's bad for the workers. The people who are making the games don't like it because they have to crunch and get everything done. The people playing the games don't like it because you get fatigue from playing the same game over and over again, and there's no updates because there's just not time.
No change.
And so I think it's just bad for video games when that is the case. But again, we all have to kowtow to our corporate overlords, and the bottom line is, how much money can they make? I know the one thing, at least on my side of the coin, EA, they make $1 billion with a B dollars every time they put out a new FIFA football game, soccer game. And it's only from the online card game. And so it's like, why would they ever stop? They make $1 billion from that game alone. That's their moneymaker. So they're never going to stop. They're never going to change. Same thing with Pokemon. Pokemon is the biggest company in the world. They're not going to stop making Pokemon games. Like, that's stupid. Why would I stop printing money? I like money. It's nice, So I don't think that's the answer. But at the same time, you and I both share that love-hate relationship with our favorite things. And so it's tough because there is no right answer. There's no fix. But, that branch off, I think that's the key. You got your branch off. I got my branch off with the college football game. And I think you can kind of experiment with those games. And that's all we want. We just want something new.
Yeah, that's how we got Mega Man X. I will come back to Mega Man as an example for the remainder of my years on this earth.
Good. I'm going to start talking about Fallout too, actually.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Good, actually. Yeah, you've been sneaking. You've been sneaking some Fallout after you finished Mass Effect.
I did play a little bit.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. What have you been playing? You playing 4 again?
Yeah. So there's the
you better tell
Legendary Edition. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this. Legendary Edition broke things, obviously. Duh. The reason Legendary Edition came out, by the way, was because they removed a song from the game. The person who wrote the song, he requested that the song be taken out. That's the whole reason that this new edition came out. No other reason. But this is what makes Fallout so delicious in my mind is Bethesda doesn't know what they're doing. So they made these changes and it broke the game. And what it did was, it allowed you to recruit a level 4 vendor that previously was unrecruitable. His script was broken and they broke the broken script. So now you can recruit him. And, it's insane. Level 4 vendors you can recruit people to your settlements and you can assign them to tasks. And some people, some named settlers have the ability to turn into vendors. Level 4 vendors allow you to buy legendary items from them. And almost all of them universally are broken. Like they just won't do what they're supposed to do. They'll either leave, like you assign them to the settlement and then they just leave, or they will delete themselves from the game and you will never be able to recruit them again. And so the new edition came out, I don't even know what it's called, the PlayStation 5 Supreme Edition, whatever. And it unbroke one of the broken vendors, so now you can recruit him again. So I went in and played and got him.
Good. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I collect them like Pokemon.
Yeah, I bet. Okay. See, this is why we're like this. What I was talking about, so just real quick, we're stepping back to Mass Effect for a second. I had that mod first. I don't want to spoil it. I had that mod for certain characters to be dealt with in a certain way because they permanently remove certain things from the game. And I remember they had this mod, and I remember telling you, you're like, "Oh yeah, well I would still pick this," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
well I wouldn't because I got to have them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want all the toys at the end so I can line them all up and be like, look, see, I have them all, and I have all the weapons, and I have all the gear, and it's pretty.
I had
so
finished.
pretty.
I had finished my playthrough. I was done with the game, and then I went back and was watching you do the end game. And I was literally like, I could tell you what was happening in the next room, you know. And I was like, hey, be careful. There's going to be 2 enemies on the left. Or it'd be like, hey, don't go down the elevator. Go down the side doors first because there's some really important story. You know, just like giving you tips whenever you would get stuck or whatever. And you got to that point in the game, and I was like, oh, I've literally never done that before. I don't know how to help this situation that comes up. And I was like, I don't know.
Like, good luck.
You do you, I guess.
Yeah, good luck. Dude, I was so funny because he was watching me, folks. It was like I was trying to push through to the end of the game, and it was getting super late in the night. We were doing that thing. It was Saturday night, and like staying up till 5, and I was just running out of steam. But I was telling you because I was playing an engineer, which is like a caster or a squishy in this game, and I was like, oh yeah, it's super great, you know. I finally figured out how to get Rex to my forward tank character. The guy, he's a big fucking lizard guy with a shotgun, and he's fucking angry, and you can't kill him even if you want to. And I'm like telling Anthony here, I'm like, hey man, oh yeah, it's so great. I just sick Rex on him, and I stand behind him. If anybody gets too close, I just start screaming for Rex, and then he saves me. As soon as I say that, this fucking enemy, this big strong enemy, comes charging at me, and I go, oh shit, I'm going, Rex, and all of a sudden from the side, fucking I wish I had fucking recorded, he comes from off screen and fucking hammers this guy with a melee attack and fucking kills him, lays him out, kills him. And me and Anthony were just dying because it was the exact scenario that I was just talking about. And I was like, oh my God, I love this game. It's so good.
It's so fun. You had a mod on that made it so you could infinite boost on the Mako, the big like tank.
Oh yeah.
And then you were like, it's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah. Again, the slight explanation here. There's a game called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Pro Skater 2 and 3. And it has a very iconic soundtrack. And you're on a skateboard in that game, and you ramp up ramps and do this thing. With the Mako, with the infinite boost, this is the car that's in Mass Effect. You have to drive across these like alien planet terrains that are just like fucking bumpy as hell. But with the infinite boost, I'm just like fucking hitting ramps, going it's like flipping. Oh hell! Can't stop us now!
It was so fun.
Put footage up about that. Come on. That's why we ought to save that for the fucking.
All right. Yeah, we'll do one.
Maybe it'll come back up. It'll come back up, folks. But we're back to talking about Mass Effect, I guess. But that was an incredible replay. Yeah. Playing that on Insanity like felt so fun. I mean, locked in on fucking specs. I thought I would use that trilogy editor. I used it one time at the beginning because I had fucking misspent something, and I never used it again.
Oh wow!
I was satisfied with my decisions on my. I mean, I probably could have min-maxed it more, you know. On my spec.
I was very happy with my build. I think we both started and changed and then restarted. Because I was originally going to be an adept, which is like the sorcerer. And then I switched to the infiltrator, which is like the sniper. And I think you were originally the vanguard, which is, you know, barbarian, rush in. And then you switched. And I was very surprised that you switched. And you ended up really liking it. But it actually made sense because you were just Jiroku.
Oh, yeah. Well, we fucking locked in. We did the thing that we said. We were like, you know... There was like two things that we did on this playthrough, which was one, we were starting up our saves and I was locking into Vanguard like I always do. Like, give me that shotgun, make me unkillable. I'm ready to have the fucking best day of my life. And I was saying, like, you and I were sitting there talking about it, and I was like, man, I've always wanted to try engineer. It looks really cool. And you were like, yeah, I've always had that interest in Infiltrator. And then I was like, have either of us ever played FemShep? And you were like, nah, I don't think so. I always played MailShep. And I was like, yeah, me too. Like, it's so like that, what's his name? Mark Meir, I think is his name. His vocal performance as Shepard is so fucking iconic and nostalgic for us at this point. Like, I hear the the fucking music, and then I'm just like picturing fucking Mark Mears telling people to kill themselves, and I'm like, what? I've never played as Fem Shep. I've never listened to Jennifer Hale's fucking thing. And I was like, fuck it. And you were like, yeah. And we were like, yeah, I'm playing engineer. And you're like, yeah, I'm playing Infiltrator. Yeah, on the hardest difficulty after not playing it for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, that was my fault.
Why did we do that?
I looked up. Well, your prep was looking up really fun mods. My prep was looking up the achievement list and what I needed to do for the achievement list. And I freaked out because on the old list, we were playing on the Legendary Edition. On the old list, you had to play through 6 times to get the platinum. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I very luckily looked up and realized the mistake that I had made and realized that we were playing on the Legendary Edition. And I was like, oh, okay, good. I'll do 1, 2 if you don't want to play on Insanity the first time. But I was like, no, let's do this. Let's do it on 1.
No, crank it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you started talking about playing on Insanity, I was like, fuck this, dude. We just did a bunch of hard mode shit in some other games that we were playing. And I was like, fuck, we can fucking beat Mass Effect on the hardest setting. The worst thing that would have happened is we get our head knocked in and we back out, and that didn't happen. I think it was probably one of my favorite playthroughs. Yeah. I mean, I still wish I was a Vanguard, but it was very fun playing, hey, fuck, Brooks, get in there. You go first. Yara, stay back there.
Well, and I think we both, about halfway through, we both would have gladly switched places. I would have been Paragon and you could have been Renegade, because I was getting very frustrated at my Shepard, like flying off the handle at every inconvenience. And you were getting very frustrated at how patient your Shepard was being. And I was like, can we just trade?
I was like, hit him. Let's fight. Yeah, I would fight. I would very much like to fight. There was so many dialogues where it was like we had to be the good cop and tell people to back down. And I was like,
yeah,
I just wanted to be like, fuck you. Like, you don't tell me. I got a Krogan right here with a shotgun. You're telling me you're going to kill me? You may kill me, but you ain't killing him, and he's going to kill all of you. So, and I'm going to run in the other room, and he's going to kill all of you. So you better squeeze your shot off now. And then it was like, oh, fuck, push the fucking little fucking yellow finger up to the top, like, fucking pick the fucking Paragon, fucking answer. I will say, though, it did feel very canon to be as fucking perfectly goody two shoes as you could be. It just felt like I was watching Star Trek at that point, which it felt good, But I really wanted to be fucking Renegon, though. Paragade, whatever.
Okay.
We're all a little Paragade, aren't we?
Cut the cameras.
Maybe cut that. Cut the feed. Well, I'm just saying that sometimes I just wanted to fucking shoot people. Like, no one's watching. This guy's a fucking asshole. He's done bad fucking shit. Let's kill him and don't let him come out again. Like, he doesn't get to leave here and plead his case. Fuck him. He did the bad. There was several fucking encounters.
90% of the time, I agree with you. Like, on all of the piddle fart side missions, 100%. Like, why are you wasting my time? You die right now. I agree. It was on the main story missions where I had problems with it, where it would be like, the Renegade option was just being stupid.
Yeah.
Like, not stupid like you're stupid for picking that. I'm saying, like, it's the tactically unsound choice. You know, because you're making a rash decision, you're making the easy decision. That's not always the correct decision. And so it was annoying to me. You know, it's like, oh, we can do this mission, but we could either help our allies or sabotage them. Well, why would we sabotage our allies? That jeopardizes my part of the mission as well, puts me in danger and my crew.
Right.
And then you start getting into the headspace of like, okay, well, who do I care about? And you pointed out Renegade Shepard is very much about human-centric ideals, even to the extent that he would choose humans over his crewmates that are aliens. And I don't think that like you said, in my head, Commander Shepard is this you know, he's a Star Trek character. He's the person who comes down and he's like, we're gonna win. Not only are we gonna win, we're gonna convince the bad guys that their way is wrong, and they're gonna join us. You know, and they're gonna be a part of the alliance. You know, it's so cheesy, but that's how I think the game is meant to be played. And so playing as a Renegade Shepard was so out of my comfort zone because it was like you would walk in and it would be like, all right, let's hear it, and they're like, oh, don't you want to like talk for a minute? And you're just like, oh God, and you pull your gun out and just blast them away. And it is very fun on those missions that don't matter to be like, yeah, this doesn't matter. But on the ones that are very important to the future of the story, I'm like, oh boy, this is rough.
There's some decisions I think you pointed out, which I don't want to tell, spoiler.
Yeah.
But there's this one mission that you and I both make the same decision on, regardless of our faction, because it affects stuff all the way in 3. And how could we have known that back then? We didn't, you know. And we lived it is what we did. We played it through a couple of times, the whole trilogy.
Yeah, true.
So
yeah, even I think, you know, you and I are very good at role play in the sense that we've been doing that since, you know, high school, junior high age, playing these fantasy games and stuff like that. And so we can get in the headspace of any character you give us. And at the same time, even playing a bad guy, I was the bad guy, you were the good guy. I was very often making the same choices you were making because I was like, even as a bad guy, I would want, like if my sole purpose in this game is to promote humanity first, there are still some choices that I would make because I'd be like, well, I'm not going to do this and set everyone back. I would do something to push everyone back but humans, you know? And so there's just a couple quests that I think could use some tweaking.
For sure.
From that standpoint, you know, from a storytelling standpoint. Because we've talked about this before. I think the setup of the storytelling is perfect. It's 10 out of 10. The storytelling could not be better. But then once the setup stops and it comes time to fulfill the setup, it falls flat. There are a couple that, you know, it's like, oh, well, I didn't know I was going to pick that.
Oops. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, not to go into the deep dive territory, but there's definitely sometimes where the dialogue is written one way and I read it, and then the tonal shift of the click.
I hate that.
You click that dialogue and the tonal shift is like, wait a minute, that's not what I thought that said. I hope I quick save before I did this dialogue.
Like some of the Renegade options will be like, screw you, buddy, and you'll click it, and then it'll be like, what did you mean by that when you said? And it's like, that's not what I clicked. I wanted to say screw you. I wanted to shoot you in the side of the head. Like, what are we doing?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The great thing about Mass Effect 1 is there's you could be playing Paragon or you could be playing Renegade and you're getting all the points. But if you go full unhinged Renegade, then that's like playing to put it in modern terms, that's like going full Dark Urge in Baldur's Gate 3. That's murder hobo, crazy psycho man. And there's enough Paragon and Renegade points, depending on which one you pick, to have some in the other tree, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like you once you max that bar out, you can make whatever fucking decision you want if you're trying to max that bar out. if you're just fucking playing to play though, which would be, we'll leave with this because we're here at the end, and then you can tell them what you think too about playing Mass Effect. But in my opinion, I think you should just try to make you should become Shepard, and you should make the decisions that you would make, and fuck the Paragon and Renegade points system. So what if you get screwed out of stuff? This is your first time through. Enjoy the fucking ride, like we did. Don't follow a guide. Just fucking play. That game is so easy. We just beat on Insanity, and that game is so easy and so fun, and it's meant to be played multiple times, so you should play it at least twice.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would say I agree with that to an extent of default to whatever, like go into it saying I'm going to be good Shepherd or I'm going to be bad Shepherd and default to that option. But I think when something comes along that questions your morals or questions your character, take the time to stop and be like, what would I actually pick? Like I'm defaulting to good or bad or, whatever. But then take the time to think about like, how is this going to affect the world around me? I've made some very powerful allies that I care about. I care about my crewmates. How is this going to affect them? Or like, will this promote them so that their quest lines are finished? Tally is a very good example of that, where if you do a certain quest and then that coincides with her kind of reason for being a part of the crew, and you can help her, so you're promoting yourself and her. And I think the characters are written so well that you're going to enjoy everything that you do in the game, and you're going to want more. That was the big thing, was you and I both finished and we were like, we just want more. And so
you just want to play it again.
Yeah, I just wanted to start over, and it's like, well, we've got 2 more games to play, so
I'm busy.
Probably need to hurry it up.
We just spent all that time talking about Mass Effect, and I feel like we only talked about the narrative and barely talked about how fucking fun the fucking like combat system is.
Yeah.
Every combat, I was sad when it was over. I remember thinking that, and what I think convinced us to play Insanity was, I remember every single combat like feeling empty because it was so strong on normal. And then playing it on Insanity, it was like you had all that fucking, I would just have so much battle lust after a combat and being like, why isn't there more?
Yeah.
Like that was so engaging. That was so fun. And we were just talking about before, maybe we said this on recording, I don't remember, but we were just talking about before we were recording how the combat really feels like it's almost turn-based. It's got that fucking Dark Souls. It's got that fucking Mega Man. It's got that fucking Fallout thing that you and I lust after, where it's like, yes, it's an action game. Yes, it's a third-person cover shooter, but there's this like push and pull with your abilities, with your utilities and stuff. I don't know what you think about that too. Like,
absolutely, yeah. I felt like, I'm playing through the game. I felt like I was completely overpowered, and then I would get sniped in the head and die, and it'd be like, oh,
yeah,
right. Oh, right. The enemies are there too. They're strong too. And like you said, it really did feel like there were moments where I was pinned down and I had to wait for the enemy's turn to end, and then I could launch my counterattack. And I do wish there were more enemies, or maybe that they would attack in waves, so it felt like there were more enemies. But there was never a time where I was like, oh, I don't really like playing on Insanity. I wish I could bump the difficulty down. I never felt that way. I like always felt like, oh, I thought that would be more, like, especially on missions where it would be like, you're going to assault this person's base, especially as me as a renegade character. You're going to assault this person's base. You're probably going to have to kill everybody inside. And it felt like those were always set up like a maze. But instead of engaging in that aspect of it where, you're turning every corner and you're blasting away with a shotgun, I just stood by the entrance and let them come to me.
Yeah, fired at the ceiling a couple times and ran back.
Yeah, and it was like, hey, Commander Shepard's here. Pew, pew, pew. And then they all rush.
You guys are bitches.
And then it was like,
You're fucking
you know, I had
bitches.
Ashley on my left. I took the right flank, and then Liara was in the middle, and we just like hammered them down. And it was like, okay, we win. And
Thank you.
You're right. Yeah, I did wish there was more, but at the same time, it was like the more that we got was by playing more of the game.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the combat. And I'm playing a sniper. I'm just playing, like you said, it's Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just playing Amon, the warlock with my Eldritch Blast. And I'm just like, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. And then it's like, oh no, somebody counterspelled you. What are you going to do? And then it's like, I just pop my ability that makes it
Throws a grenade.
Yeah, it pops my ability so that they explode and they can't use their powers. So I counterspell their counterspell. And it's like, okay.
Wrong. Yeah.
You're going to blue mage me? I'm the blue mage.
You're right. I was playing my wizard. He said it earlier. Jiroku is his name.
Yeah.
But I was playing my wizard from D&D where I was like, debuff, disable. All right, kill him.
Yeah. Get him, boys.
Get him, big guy. Get him, big boys.
Go ahead, Brick.
My favorite is you're totally right because it was my two characters that I had. The fucking the Hellhound with the shotgun.
Oh yeah,
he literally had one. I was thinking about that too. I was like, did I just make Rex back then? Because literally, it didn't matter that Liara was with us or Tally or Garrus. That character did not matter. I literally was two-manning through me and Rex. I'm like, Rex forward, Rex. Oh, I want to talk more. I want to talk more about our experiences, but we'll save that for the deep dive here. But
yeah,
we keep calling it a deep dive. It's a retro replay.
Retro replay. That's my fault.
Well, we're here at the end. We got to let him go.
All right,
we got to let him go.
Oh yeah.
No, not like that. Say what you were gonna say, but we got to let him go.
Okay. Yeah, Mass Effect 10 out of 10. Can't wait to play the second one. See ya.